Hi, I'm Dr. Jo Brown and welcome to episode 3 of Grassroots.
Do you prefer working out in really cold weather or extremely hot weather?
Bro, who the heck wants to work out in cold weather?
Yeah, but you also get the worst of the worst with the hottest weather here.
No, always hot. It's stupid to warm up in the cold. Your muscles don't warm up enough.
You're getting tired of warming up, like stretching and whatnot?
Sometimes it's just like you want to get like straight to the workout, or to like drills. Yeah. But then you just gotta be like, can't do workout without warming up first, because then you're just gonna have a trash workout. It's like you gotta make sure that you do the little things because it's gonna end up with a better workout. And every time I hear somebody ask about shin splints, I always wonder, are you even stretching your calves? The doctor's ready.
It's ready. We activating or we ankle first?
Activating.
We gotta stick to the process.
To the routine.
All right, so we're doing activation drills for the front side of his body, so quads and hip flexors. So we want him to be reactive and active at the same time. So when he can put force into the track rather than the track putting force into him. That was the front side, pretty quick. And then we're gonna go into the back side. So we're gonna start with glutes. So he's activating his muscles, but in the fast twitch muscles we're focusing on. So obviously he's a sprinter, so we want the fast twitch muscles to be active. So a lot of people to warm up will do like passive stuff, so they'll get massages and stuff like that, but that actually flattens out the fast twitch muscle fibers, so we want to be making sure they're active. So we do quite a different process. Now we're getting the stability muscles active, so we're going to work through his core real quick. So I'm applying force, he's going to resist. Lats are super important in sprinters because they help compress the spine and connect the spine with the pelvis and the hips. So big connection between the lats on one side and the glutes on the other. So I'll be looking for that later on the track. So this one's a rotational control. So really important for running the curve. So here we're just trying to find the point where we want him to apply all the force to the track and the stability point. So working the ankle and the small foot muscles. We've been doing a lot of work on Noah's left ankle, and I'll point that out on the track later as well. So left ankle's a whole lot weaker, and naturally the arch is quite weak there. So we've been working on that to help us start, particularly the first 3 steps. Set, go.
Better.
Want you to be a little bit better, a little bit more onto the outside of this left foot. So that's better. Cool. Front ankle over toe.
Yeah.
There you go. Set, go.
You know, me and Jasia's got into our argument on Friday about if I false started or not. And
definitely. No,
yeah,
you're just reactive.
I said I was just reactive. And I was just like, y'all just had bad reactions. He's like, so you're telling me that you have a bad reaction every other time? I said, that's exactly what I'm telling you. Now that we're getting like all the components, I'm starting to realize that that reaction time and the ability to react as soon as I hear the gun, have my body all work at once, is definitely something that others are doing better than I am.
In this warm-up process doing the drills, if Noah has an issue or a niggle, it's going to come out in the drills. So it's really handy for me is when I put my physio hat on, I know that if he's good in drills, he's going to be good to do pretty much anything, because I know he can do the drills properly and apply force in a way that he's going to be challenging his whole kinetic chain. Some of them are getting their foot caught out in front of them, so they're not able to apply force. So the most powerful place to apply force is straight down. But if we get caught too far out in front, it's a dangerous spot. So that's where hamstrings get done. So you want to be straight down and rip back. Positions that are most powerful and effective in sprinting are actually protective in terms of injury as well. So not only are you going to be in a good position and be able to apply more force and be more efficient, is you're going to protect yourself from injury as well. So a lot of these drills now are as much about coordination than they are about activation. So if you're too frequent in your movement, what's going to happen is you're not going to be able to apply that same force. So quite often what you see is people are too quickly trying to move and they're not getting into those good positions. But if you have the right coordination and the strength, you can almost hang in the position of power to then apply that force. And then you can see they're so hanging in that position of power. So applying force, and then hanging in that position of power. You'll see Noah's really good at getting that triple extension and applying power. Like, that's just beautiful. That's beautiful drills right there. So triple extension, bang. And see he's on that ball of the foot that we were working before. He's got that glute active, hamstring active, quads active, lats active. That's what we want to see. Essentially, this is just about hip mobility. So if anything's going to go wrong in a sprinter, most of the time it's something that attaches to the pelvis, or something that attaches in and around the hips. So by keeping the hips mobile, we're kind of a little bit protective in terms of injury, but getting them ready to do what they need to do on the track in terms of maintaining position and forms and stuff. So right now, just literally over the hurdle, getting good mobility through the hips. We want them to try and stay upright through their core and have pure hip movement. So don't want to see someone bent over too much. We want them to be nice and tall. So now this is more just a coordination drill, still looking at hip range of motion, but we're coming straight up. So before we're using the rotators and the abductors and the adductors, whereas now it's more a hip flexion exercise. So like we said before, you want to be applying force to the ground, not the ground applying force to you. So a lot of people that get a lot of knee pain, ankle pain in running and sprinters, particularly Achilles issues, tendinopathy in the knee, quite often have issues with that. So they're actually getting reacted upon rather than applying force to the ground. So I really like this drill. So this is a really nice one for opening up through the hips and the adductors. What you'll see on a Monday, everyone's really good and loving this exercise. By Friday, it hurts a little bit more. I'm looking for how he's applying power to the ground. Is he even in his foot placement? Is he driving forward? So we want to have the knees driving forward and going down the track. So more of a hip flex stance. When we get a little bit lower and our hips come back, we can use our glute more. And we want that for the drive phase. If we're too far up, it's a whole lot harder to get that glute to work and you end up doing hamstring and quad. But your glute max is your biggest muscle in the body, so we want to work that as much as possible to produce power. So Janelle's a 400 runner, so she's a little bit different in her form and what she's trying to do. Most of the time what you'll see is the 400 runners are naturally going to stay a little bit more upright, and then not always, depending on what coach wants them to do, but they might do lighter weights. So they don't want to be as big, so they don't want to be building as much muscle. They're not as much of driven by applying the same force to the ground as the shorter sprinters are. So Josephus obviously a bigger guy, he's got big muscles, and for Josephus it's all about being able to get that force into the ground. So we've been working with him using his core a bit more so he can actually utilize those bigger muscle groups and get the glutes to fire up. Every athlete has an individual performance journey, and I talk about the performance pie. So basically there's lots of different things that all contribute to your performance. So there's nutrition, there's recovery, including sleep, it's what you do in the gym, it's what you do on the track, it's what your social life is like, and all those pieces of the pie, you as an individual can take control of and do different things. Talk to all the people that are in your performance team and figure out what those performance gaps are, because they're going to be individual to you. The things that I work on with Noah to help him with his start or help him activate are going to be completely different for you. So I'll just do a little check-in. I think he's going to spike up, so. But he's singing, so normally when he's singing we're good, but then he's always kind of singing, so we'll see.
Yeah, my body just knows when it's time to race.
100%. And it's like, and it's a build-up, right? Like, so, yeah. Like as the days go on.
Yeah, but today, the point of today is not to try and kill it. Just try to get the body moving, even though I feel great. if I try to kill it, I'm probably gonna run out of energy by Friday, which I've learned last year. I don't want to do that again.
Oh yeah.
So, whatever coach asks for is what he's getting.
100%. So that start block work, I think we got 2 to 10 and 2 to 30.
So what he'll do is he'll basically stand over the block, put his knee down about 1 inch from the line, however far that is up the stem. That's where he's gonna put the front pad. We're looking for like tension on the back pad, but not like reaching and not like stuffed underneath yourself. You're basically looking to put yourself in like a quarter squat position on the back pad, and then you have to angle them correctly. So we're looking for like 55 on the back, 45 on the front. Because the majority of the back pad's responsibility is horizontal, the majority of the front pad's responsibility is vertical. And you're getting like a net neutral of that, those two contributions.
1, 2, 3, 4, good. Oh, this time I want core, glute. So core
They're
first.
all on.
Yeah, go. That's better. Just need a little more conscious.
More activation.
More activation. So coming out of the blocks, we want him to be really active through his lats and his glutes, the big prime movers. So we're just activating the lats. He just wasn't feeling the lat as well. That's something we've been working on.
These ones up here by the blue line, those are for your 7th step. So you should be on it or right next to it by your 7th step. That usually determines how fast you're going. So if you're generating enough power and speed at the same time, you're going to be at that 10-meter mark by your 7th step.
If you're not at that, something's not working. Like for me, I'd be like, if he's not getting to 10 meters, something's not active, his positioning's not right out of the blocks, so that he's not able to apply the force where he needs to in the first 2 to 3 steps.
Yep. Right. Yes, my body is reacting to the sound, but the rest of my body isn't working as a unit. Come on, Kyle. Whoa.
So you're saying your hands coming across your face, right? Which isn't a powerful position.
Correct.
As soon as if we use the hand as your cue, so you can look at your hand and see where it is, it wants to be that way. So it wants to be parallel with your face. So then your most powerful position is there rather than there. So what we want to practice is not even going through the full movement, but going from that rock and then bringing the arm up.
Yeah, I know what it's doing to me, and I know.
And it's frustrating. I get it. Yeah.
It's just frustrating.
Because you lose that connection.
Being a perfectionist.
Yeah.
Knowing what I want it to do.
I think the other thing that it's doing, which what you're feeling, is it's unwinding that spring.
Yeah.
So you've wound up, and then to a certain extent, that unwinds you, and then you've got to actively rewind on the track.
Yeah, in the
motion, rather than using all the winding up you've had in the blocks and that activation to continue to produce power down the track.
Yeah.
So now we're doing wickets. So wickets is all about the upright running phase. So previously over at the blocks, it's all about that start part of the race. This is about that transition and moving into the end of the race. So it's all about the upright running. Maintaining form is super important, and also the frequency of the steps and the stride length. And they're going to run 20 meters before they hit the wickets. So they need to be hitting their correct stride length by the time they hit the wickets. 2.4 meters is a long way. It's like, so they're running that distance. Like, that's me lying down. This is a really good part of Noah's race. He's really good at the upright running, high-end speed stuff. Now, what people don't realize is you need to be able to be strong and able to maintain those form positions. So if you're not strong enough, you're not going to be able to get into those positions. So the work needs to be done behind the scenes in the gym to support what you do on the track.
In the ground. Nice. All right, that's it.
The workout's done. Been up to the gym. It's a down week, so it's gonna be like a lot less of things.
And we're going to be focusing on quality of movement, so finishing the movements so they relate back to the track most effectively.
And me and Joe are gonna do some little prep work before we get into the gym.